forget. In spite of everything, they should stand their ground. And I think they can do it.
In spite of everything, women should stand their ground. Okay, my special guest for today's episode of Talkbeta is Dara Gold, Victor Jonathan. Dara Gold is a 400 level student of guidance and counseling, Faculty of Education, University of New York, and the Student Union Vice President elect awaiting inauguration.
Immigration.
Okay, let me come back to you, Dante.
Okay.
What role do you think education plays uh, uh, in in shaping the political mind of the women?
Wow. Wow. That's actually a very nice one. Very nice question. The thing is that I think I was speaking with someone the other day, and I told him that you are a product of your dominant thoughts. All right. So what that means is that since education kind of enlightens us about the world around us, education sets us to understand what's ahead. It teaches us what we should do and the things that we should engage. Now, education, with respect to helping women's participation in politics, is very essential because there are a lot of stereotypes. As I said earlier, there's a lot of stereotypes. Personally, there are so many limited ideas that I had concerning politics. At first, I, I hated it at first because I grew up with that mindset that when it has to do
Politics is
with
a dirty game.
yeah, that's specifically what I was taught. That's specifically what I was taught. That politics is a date game. You cannot get into politics without you understand what I mean, without
Yes.
getting into something dirty. You get so, but when I had to submit myself to mentorship and learning, and it deconstruct that belief system. Okay, it deconstructed that mindset, that idea. So education gave me freedom because I submitted myself to learning. Okay, it eradicated all those limited mindsets and ideas. So education is very crucial when it comes to helping women's participation in politics.
So you made mention of stereotype. How can we address gender biases and stereotype in politics?
Well, I always say something that the world is a world of men. Okay, and by men, I'm not just talking about the male gender. Okay, the world is a world of men. That's human beings. So the thing is that whatever we want to see on earth is whatever we see on earth rather is what we've agreed to see. Okay, so if world leaders if they come together, and then there is a lot of negotiation and thoughts. Okay, there's engagement in thinking. Okay,
Yeah.
to help break that boundary, to help deconstruct that archaic belief system. I think it really help. It's really help because the thing is that this thing is sometimes we display these stereotypes without even knowing because we are products of influence. So chances are high that let's say I have a godfather, and then my godfather is a stereotypical person, is somebody with biases. Chances are very high that as long as I'm submitting to him, I will also emulate what he's doing, sometimes without even knowing, subconsciously, because he has influenced me. You get. So I think the first thing that the world leader should do. That's my thinking now. Okay, that's my opinion. Think they should come together and let negotiations be made. Let certain laws be enacted
That
to
this
help.
particular
We don't want to
position
see
should be for only for women
it's
and
no, 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 no. Why I'm saying like that is, she made mention of a point. She said something, and she said that forms should be given to ladies freely. And in my mind, I was like, if you now give forms to ladies freely,
okay.
it will bring agitation
Yes, of
from the
course.
side of the guys because they'll be like, I think it should be
where a man is meant
equal
to pay-
responsibility.
Where a man is meant to pay like 1 million naira for
And then a
nomination form,
lady
and
is supposed to
lady
pay
is getting it for free.
300, or let's say for free.
She said for
You
free.
you
Yes.
see that alone is bias. It's being biased itself. You get. So I think a structure should be made where both people are giving
So how
giving
do
this.
we provide a level playing field?
We provide a level playing field by, the thing is from the top.
Okay.
It's gonna be from the top down. Yes, it's going to be from the top down because since in Nigeria we are practicing democracy, democracy in quotes. Okay, I believe. Why are you staring at me like that? Don't
I
stare at me
don't
like
understand.
that. Okay, we are practicing democracy, right? A government of the people, by the people, and
And
for
for
the
the
people.
people.
But sometimes, you see, I think did you define what politics is? Because somebody that's watching me might not really understand. Okay, so now, it needs to start from the top. That's what I said.
Okay.
So the thing is that they have to come together, and then while coming together, there will be a lot of interest involved, and the interest that they have should be judged. Okay, if this interest that they are having is not to reconcile an action that's for a public good, it means that whatever they are having in mind, it's still the same. It will still breed the same problem, because I think the people at the top should do it should be kind of it's a selfless service. It's a selfless service where you represent the people,
And
but
the
it's all
interest of the
start
people.
yes, but it all starts from the top.
Well,
Sometimes the interest of the people, it's most of the interest of the people. If you listen to it, you'll be shocked, because of ignorance.
because of
Yeah.
ignorance. So, Dara Gold, don't you think if we should give women more, like you made mention of the free nomination forms and other advantages over the male gender, don't you think along the line it will bring another issue entirely where men will be agitating to get into power that women have taken over everywhere? Don't you think maybe in the nearest future or in the far future it will cause a problem?
Well, I think there could be a regulation. What we are looking at first is trying to gather women,
Okay.
Okay.
because the number of women in political positions is very small. In fact, I'm not even sure we have like 10 in some governments, or in some governments to say. I don't think we have like 10 women there. Look at, let's say, a state government executive council. How many women are there? Maybe just the deputy governor, or just few commissioners. We don't have many women there. But we are trying to see how we can at least have some of them come out. And then there could be a regulation thereafter where they can say, okay, fine, we've gathered at least some sizable number of women. Let's now make it, let's regulate it, so that we won't have these agitations from the male gender, that, oh, we are not carried along, or I think there's more favoritism for the women than
Right.
us. So I think it should just be a regulation. Yes, there should be regulation on it. First is just to gather the women there, to have them come out, because we are trying to see how we can make them see reasons
To come out.
to come out. Most of the women, I feel like most of the women first may not have the money, because looking at economic setup of our country, women typically are always in the kitchen. Most women are housewives. Majority of women are housewives. Just of recent, on the modern society, that we have women go out to venture into entrepreneurship. We have women that want to, okay, have things to do for themselves. But majority of women are housewives, and you can't expect a housewife to be able to purchase a farm that's like 1 million naira. Where will she get the money from when
Right.
she's a penny on the husband?
Mm.
So we are trying to see how we can now bring those kind of women. Try to see how we can encourage them to come out by making sure that, okay, fine, these expenses are catered for at the start, and then we regulate it thereafter. So I think that can be doable.
Okay, so how do you think a woman in politics can be able to manage both family, the responsibilities that will come from being a politician?
Well, women
Okay,
naturally.
okay, let us start from you
Okay.
in
Mhm.
particular. How have you been able to manage politics, academics, work, and other
Aspect of it.
other aspects of your life, other
Well,
responsibilities?
thank you for that question. Well, I think women are wired to carry a lot.
Mhm.
Naturally,
Wow.
women are just wired to carry a lot.
Mm.
A woman sweeps, she caters for the family, she breeds a child, she takes care of those children she gives birth to, she manages herself as a person, she manages her husband. That's already a whole lot of work.
Wow.
So you can't, it's already naturally, God has already created women to take care of that. Women already have the ability, that innate ability to do that. So now going back to me, I'm working, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a fashion designer, I'm a student too, and I'm on 4.5, which is like a first class. Um, also into politics. Now you might ask yourself, how am I managing everything? Well, I think that's where we now have to strike a balance between everything. Trying to strike a balance. For me, I do politics and I work. I just have to just do a schedule. Okay, what comes first at this time? Looking at my daily schedule, what comes first? Is it politics today or is it my work? But I make sure that one aspect doesn't suffer. So I try to strike that balance. If it's time for my exams, I see how I can focus on my exams, mostly reading in the night, dedicate the whole night to reading. And then for my work, sometimes I work all through the night. So that I know that during the day, I could have time to concentrate with political activities in school.
So
So,
what if it's the timetable clashes? Maybe you have an emergency in the political side, and you are maybe, like, okay, now it's 4 p.m. You are supposed to attend a meeting, and as a married woman, as
okay.
a woman with your children and your husband, you have an emergency at home. How do you balance that? Don't you think that will pose another problem entirely that will make women want to, ah, I think I should give up on this political journey entirely?
Well, I feel like if you're talking about marriage, that's why I always encourage women to marry a man that understands. Because a man that understands, I think you guys can try to schedule some things, try to share responsibilities. Okay, you could call your husband, I'm busy at the moment. Can you take care of the kids? At least just for an hour or so. And then the husband could do that. So I think it's in the aspect of marriage. It has to be an understanding between the man, the woman, and her husband. There has to be that level of understanding between them to make that work. For so I know that women might be discouraged that okay, I have to take care of my children, I have to do that. I think that's why also this sensitization doesn't end with women. It has to go to men too. At least they have to inform men. Okay, fine. If your wife should have to involve in politics, some of these things will happen. But I think you can also assist her. You can encourage her to do better. And how
I think the awareness should actually be for the men. Yes,
yes,
it should actually be for the men, because okay, now you want to fight a particular, maybe you want to fight a particular stuff. You are going to what is causing the causative agent. You are not going to who is going to be
to be
affected.
affected,
Yes, you are
yes.
going to the causative agent. So I think the
Exactly.
awareness should actually be
Be
for
for
the
the
men.
men, yes.
Okay.
That's why I said the awareness can be for both of them. In as much as we are creating this awareness for the women, the men has to be involved because they are the ones that obey the burns somehow. So I feel like they should also be sensitized. There should be this awareness for them that okay, fine, your wife is going to be involved in this. She's going to have to go through all this. This is how you can take care of it. This is how you can manage situations like this. This is how you can encourage her to make her come out and to make her do better. So I think that can work.
Okay, thank you viewers for your time, and I must appreciate you and also apologize for coming a bit behind schedule. We are supposed to be live by 4, but due to certain circumstances that we beyond our control. So the topic is on the screen already: women involvement in politics, a catalyst for national nation building. Send in your questions and contributions via the comment section. We are live and we are taking your questions one after the other. So let me go back to Dante. Dante,
Sir.
don't you think in the nearest future, if we should continue to give women the
I
opportunity,
think I already know that question.
no, if we should continue to give women that opportunity, that privilege, come and join this thing, come and do this thing, come and do this politics of the thing, come and join. You need to take active participation in politics. Don't you think maybe in the next 20 years that women will overtake the men in the political sector, and it will actually bring a problem, because now men will actually have to be the one staying at home looking after the children and the other responsibilities.
Mm.
Okay, if the women are outside in the political sector, the men are outside who will take care of the children. Don't you think that will actually pose another problem?
Employed house help.
Don't you think
Employed
that will
mates
actually pose
will help
another
them.
problem,
Right.
raising the children and other uh, internal, it will also cause internal crisis at all.
Uh, I think your question is tried. The question is coming about three of them at once.
Yes.
Okay, you're asking me
If
if we
women
give
go overtake men, yes, that's the first question.
Now, when you are saying, when you're asking me if women won't overtake men,
Yes, looking at the okay, let's use the Nigeria for a
no,
case
I
study.
understand. I
Looking at the
understand you.
population now, you see that women are actually more than men.
I know.
Don't you think if these women start to they're calling us to come and join this thing, they are calling us to come and do this thing. Since we are actually practicing democracy, which the voting system,
Okay.
and now women have a larger number
Mhm.
than men. Don't you think in the nearest future men will be completely eliminated from the political space,
No,
judging from the population?
no, I don't think so.
What's your
Okay, my reason being
what's your
that,
reasons?
yeah, my reasons being that, uh, since the office that these women are sending into, since the office is not just free, okay, it's not something you just wake up and enter into it. There are prerequisites, okay, there are criteria in order for you to meet
Okay.
to be able to get into that office.
But apart from the criteria are not gender based.
Yes, the criteria are not gender based,
So
but
you know a lot of women in the present society, financially they are well to do,
okay,
academically and in all aspects
okay,
they are well to do. So what's actually your reason that
that's what
they will
I'm
be
that's where I'm driving at now.
okay?
That's where I'm going. So I'm saying that the criteria and the prerequisites, when it is outlined, okay, and then a woman that is fit enough, he has followed, she has followed it personally, and let's check if she has qualified. If it is a man that has qualified for that office, it is a man that will be installed. If it is a woman that is qualified for that office, it is also a woman that will be installed. So the thing is, when we have this impression of our mind that, um, if we give a chance to the women, they are going to overtake the system, I think already we are biased. Yes. So let it be that there is a parameter. They are using a certain parameter to judge, and then when you are able to meet this yardstick,
Okay.
okay, then you are qualified. It shouldn't be based on, since you are able to pay 1 million naira ascending into office, even though you are not fit educationally, you are not fit emotionally, psychologically, you must have a track
But
record.
looking at the financial structure of Nigeria today, and looking at the academic sector, recently I've been observing the number of graduates from the university and polytechnics and other that are coming out with distinctions, first class, are actually the women.
Right?
Yes, and in recent past,
It has a cost.
wait, in the recent past, we were begging women go to
Go
school,
to, yeah.
and today, go to schools, you'll see women are the one dominating.
I understand.
Coming out with good grades, it is women. Distinctions, women. Okay, we have like 5 people graduate with a first class in
They're
a
all
particular
ladies.
institution. 4 will be ladies and one
I
will
won't
be
be
a
a
guy.
man. Right?
Don't you think if we should also give them that opportunity as we gave them in the educational aspect that we were begging? I remember maybe during the time of our parents, women were not actually encouraged to take part in. They were not given that opportunity to go to school.
Okay.
So then there was this campaign and awareness. Women should be given the opportunity to go to school. Women should be given opportunity to go to school. Women should be allowed into the school sector, to the school system. And today, they are taking over the system. Don't you think the same thing might be replicated in the political system?
Now, I think, there should be no fear. Yes, I think there should be no fear. The reason why there should be no fear is because I always say, okay, if you want to, eliminate biases and sentiments from the system, then you have to come innocently. That's, you have to give an equal level,
So
equal grounds. Do you get my
yes,
point?
yes,
You
I
get
get
my
your point.
point?
Dara, don't you think if the same question I gave him, don't you think if we should continue? Remember, the same thing happened in the education sector. We are begging the women go to school. Women should be given opportunity to go to school. Women should be given opportunity to go to school. Women should be allowed to go to school. They should not be limited to farming, taking care of the younger siblings and taking care of the family. Today, women are doing extremely. They are doing far more better than the men that their male counterpart in schools. Don't you think this same thing replicated in the political system, the political sector, if we should continue to encourage women to get into the system?
Well, like what Dante said, I don't think there's any reason to be scared because it's equal. The women have the same opportunities as men. So if the women should go there and perform better, I feel like it's nobody's fault.
No,
No,
it's
it's
nobody's
nobody's
fault.
fault. It's equal. It's just an equal opportunity. So it's up to both of them to see who goes there.
Of
So the
course.
men should sit up.
The men should
Exactly.
sit up. I think by the time the ladies are given by the time we have these equal opportunities, and then we observe that the ladies are doing much more better to get there, it will also inspire a guy or the
Exactly.
guys out there to be passionate and purposeful to get there too. You see, that will cause an effect in society. Everybody will be trying to catch up with the system,
But you know that entirely will pose another problem.
What kind of problem would that be?
It will pose a problem of competition between the genders. And
As long as
the competition will not be held enough.
Listen, sir, let me correct you. As long as we're on earth, in fact, competition is what is driving the business sector.
Exactly.
Yes, competition is what in every sector, if you look carefully, you will see competition.
And you know, women are actually doing more better than male in the
Then the male
than
should
men
sit up.
in the business sector.
The male should sit up. Is it not this? It's principle based. It's principle based. I understand that sometimes, because of the nature of a woman, you might want to go into this place or go out of this place, and then a man is pushed out, said no, but a woman will come in and, like, because of the nature, not naturally women are favored, they are endowed. But I'm talking about a scenario where the system is innocent, the system is not biased. Okay, that is only when we'll be able to know. That is only when there will be that healthy competition.
Don't you think that the men will have this conceived mindsets that they have been sidelined?
I think anybody that thinks he's sidelined because the other people are given equal opportunity, I think that's from his mind. That's ignorance. Yeah.
Okay, we are still
the person
waiting
has sentiments in his
we
mind.
are still waiting for your contributions and questions in the comment section. Do well to click on the comment section, drop your questions and your contribution. Remember, the topic is women participation and women involvement in politics,
A catalyst
for nation building. How can women involvement in politics promote or encourage national building? So let me come back to you, Dara. You've said a lot, and after this section I'll have to listen to this video again, and I have to learn a lot from what you have said, both of you have said. So let's go back to the challenges, because I think this is the main important part that we need to really focus on. The challenges that are pushing women out of the political space. Like looking at the Nigerian system, we have 36 states and the FCT. All the governors in Nigeria are male. None is a woman. I think one state a woman came out, and Atiku Abubakar state. That was Adamawa state. Yes, I've forgotten the lady's name. Don't you think when stuff like this happen, how do you feel like a woman that all the 36 states, include all the 36 states, are being governed by only men?
Well, I kind of feel bad. Or like, yes, I kind of feel bad. I feel in some way that we may have what it takes to be there, but they are not there. And I feel like one of the challenges women are facing is acceptability. The society itself don't even accept women there. If you see a woman come out and say, okay, I want to vie for the position of the president of Nigeria,
You start saying a woman want to preside over Nigeria.
Exactly.
She should go back to the kitchen.
Exactly. So that's the first challenge, acceptability. Because a woman will sit down and might have that passion, might aspire for that position, and she's already like, if I should come out, the society itself won't even clap for me. That's enough to discourage anybody. It's enough to let her down. It's enough to weigh her down and make her feel like I can't do this. So that's one of the first challenge. Acceptability isn't there. And I think that's where we can come. That's what we can do. Trying to create a society where there is equality. Because when the society sees that there's an equal opportunity for both male and female, it will accept the female gender into the sector, into politics. But a society where there's already this mentality that, it's like African society at large, there's already a mentality that male are the head. And no man, starting from the family, no man will even want to see a woman hate him or her. So the society has already like structured itself to accept that male are the head. So
And women should be subjected
to the
kitchen
kitchen,
and the
to
other
children and other things. So already the society is already discouraging women from coming out. So I feel like we have to just work on our mindset. We have to work on the society first, trying to see how we can create that level playing ground, trying to see how we can make equal opportunities, trying to see how we can make sure that people are aware that there is an equality between male and female. A woman has every right a man has. A woman has the opportunities a man has. She can do it just like a man can do it. So there should be that acceptability into the system. So I feel the challenge I've noticed particularly is the acceptability and
particularly in Nigeria.
in Nigeria.
Okay.
Acceptability.
A few days back, the president of the United States of America, who was running for re-election, President Joe, released a statement that is stepping down to bring Kamala Harris, who happens to be a woman, to run for the office of the president, the next president of the United States of America. How do you feel seeing a woman aim for such a position?
I feel so happy. And
remember, the other time, a woman also came out to run for office of the president in the United States of America, though she did not win. So, do you think this time around there will be a kind of magic that women will be able? Because particularly me, I was for Donald Trump, but immediately Harris came out, I was like, no. I think we should give this woman that opportunity. So, how do you feel seeing a woman running for the office of the #1 citizen of the United States?
I feel so happy to see a woman run for that position. And I feel it also starts from our society, like I said. If you notice in Western societies, women are given opportunities. Look at England, look at some key countries there. You will see women come out for those opportunities and they are allowed to do it. Even the society itself are even happy to see the women come out. But if you come back to Nigeria or to African societies, if a woman should just come out for any position, there's already issues. There are already talks. Even her own family are already even talking down at her. Because already there is this stereotype in African society. So I feel it's an issue of where we come from and how we think, our mentality as Africans first. So I think we just have to try to see how we can work on our mentality, and mentality that will allow women come in, mentality that will allow women to see themselves as that they have those equal opportunities as men. So those are just the things that we can do. So that's it.
To bring women into the system.
Exactly.
So, Dante,
Sir.
how do you see the coming year's election? A woman running against a man.
Well,
A woman flying the Democratic ticket against a man in the Republican.
well, at first, there is always a conventional way of thinking. Normally, uh, I thought I used to think like that conventionally until I had to deconstruct that mindset. So I am very happy for the lady. Particularly, the reason why I'm happy for the lady is because, just as Daragod said, in the Western countries, right, you see that both the male and the female are given equal opportunities. Okay, so it is now based on your ability to ascend. Do you understand? It's now based on your capacity, because the leadership position is not just something you go there emotionally, something you want to go and do some test running to check if you'll be able to handle or not. It is based on your credence, who you are, the track record and the antecedent that you've had in your past, because I don't believe that somebody who can just come out from nowhere, someone who has not done politics, just come out and ascend into politics and you become president. No. So it is based on the antecedents that the woman has. That's why Joe Biden has been able to, you know, give her a hand of fellowship.
Okay.
You understand?
I
You
understand. I don't
understand? Yeah,
understand
I
everything you
understand.
said. Okay, now let's come back to the students' political space. Um, Recently, if we've witnessed a complete switch. You know, when I was still praying for admission during 2000, that was around 2015, 2000, a lot of women in the school sector, in the school, in the student politics, were not given opportunity to assume leadership position like faculty president, departmental president. But today, even Senate, out of rep, how is it called?
Senators,
Senators and
parliamentarians,
parliamentarians in different faculties. But today we have a lot of women like faculty of
social
social
science,
sciences,
communication arts.
communication arts, and okay. Let me go back to the communication arts. The day of manifesto last they just concluded student union election.
Yes.
You were in that you were at Onyema Ogochukwu when that lady the president of CAMSA came in.
Yes.
You see the way the crowd was cheering her. Don't you think that actually will also help the women? Like it shows how the students have accepted her and how well she's doing.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
don't you think if women should continue to get such applaud, don't you think it will help encourage women to participate in politics? Judging from what you saw that day at Onyema Gochukwu.
Yes, that day was a very beautiful day, and I loved what I saw. I loved the reception she got. It was so beautiful to see. It was just so beautiful. So I like the fact that the school itself has kind of applauded women
And
into.
women are, if you should look at the track record, I think women that have assumed positions in like faculty presidents are actually doing much more better than the men in the recent past.
Yes, like I said earlier, a woman has those innate abilities. A woman can manage so much naturally starting from her home. So if a woman is given a position of power or a political position, she'll be able to manage it very well because already she's already used to doing it. It's not like it's her first time of doing it. She's already used to doing it. Women knows how to manage economic, like how to manage their finances, how to manage a home, set it up to organize it in a beautiful way, how to be an administrator. So those qualities are sterling qualities that if you bring into politics, it could go a long way for any political system. So having women there in the school politics has been a very great one. Look at the likes of Blessing Jaja. If you notice when she was
The vice
the vice
president.
president, she did so well.
Yes,
Blessing
she did more than we expected.
Yes, Blessing Jaja did so well. And I've not seen any woman that's been given any opportunity in a,
How I wish she was given the opportunity. Maybe she was the student union president. Don't you think she would have actually turned UNIO into the entire universe would have been hearing of UNIO? Because I remember after Jada left office, there's one of my friend is in the University of Lagos.
Okay.
He messaged me, asked me if since they left office or we've not had a student union government again.
Yeah.
I told her we have a government presently. So we have a question on from diplomatic debt. She's saying what happens in a country like Nigeria where the equal rights of both genders to participate in politics is crowded by segregation and poor mindsets that female are meant to be subordinate to men. Dante,
Yes, sir.
let me come to you first.
Okay. Okay. So I think this person is asking, can I reiterate the question, please? Can I reiterate the question? I need it on the screen. Thank you. What happens in country where, like in a country, Nigeria, where equal rights of both genders to participate in politics is crowded about segregation and poor mindset that females are meant to be subordinate? Now, at first, Diplomatic Bay, that's her name, right? Diplomatic Bay. I think you are getting it wrong. Okay, you are getting it wrong. The fact that segregation is happening doesn't mean that's how it's supposed to be. Okay, it's because they've always said that when evil is institutionalized, okay, when evil is institutionalized, right or good becomes a rebel. Do you understand? So we have done a wrong thing until it seems as if the wrong thing is the right thing. So when somebody brings up the right idea, the right mindset, it looks as if we are kicking against the system. So diplomatic bay, the thing is that what happens is that the country will suffer, because I believe that naturally a woman has a responsibility in the society, and a man has his responsibility in the society. When it has to do with politics, there are places, or there are offices where the woman can fit in and the man can also fit in. Both of them can play. But when it has to do with nature, okay, various responsibilities that nature has distributed, I think we are not the same, to be very honest. All right. So politically in Nigeria, what happens to a country like us is that the system is going to suffer, because we are segregating the potential people that are supposed to help us in building the nation. Because, bro, let's leave sentiments aside. There are ladies that have capacity.
Yes, like you made mention of blessing.
To be very frank with you, there are ladies that have capacity. They have trained themselves and they have developed themselves into a place of leadership that when you see them in office, you respect them. You get. So it's just that, well, I believe that sooner than expected, the system is going to strike a balance. Thank you very much.
And please
Thank
put
you.
back the question on the screen. From the diplomatic bay. Okay, Dara,
Yes, sir.
diplomatic babe is asking the question here. What happens in a country like Nigeria, where the equal rights of both genders to participate in politics is crowded by segregation and poor mindsets that female are meant to be subordinate to men?
Okay, like Dante said, such society or such country is bound to lack in some aspects. Like he said, each of us, both male and female, have potentials, have qualities and have abilities that if we put it into the society, it can help to shape the society. We already have a society that is already like kind of going down. It's not having a balanced footing.
Free flow.
Yeah, it's a free flow. So imagine women should come in. Men are already there, but imagine we bring in women into this society. You will see that there'll be some changes. I believe there'll be some changes because, like you said, there are women that have capacity. There are women that are capable. There are women that have all it takes to lead. There are women that if you put them in a position, they could change so much. They could bring so much positive changes to that place. So I feel like Nigeria already is suffering, like having women that are not in those positions. They're already suffering. Look at when the former minister Ngozi Iweala was the minister of finance. I think the financial system of Nigeria was better a bit than this because she was there. I'm not saying that other ministers are not doing well. They're all doing well, but I'm just looking at her as a female being in that position. She did very well. I didn't think we had any issues, much issues. There will be issues definitely, but I don't think we had much issues then. You get. So if women can come into politics, or if women can be allowed into the political system of Nigeria, there will be a lot of positive changes, which will help foster a better country and a better society, and will give us the Nigeria of our dreams.
Oh, you've made mention of the former Minister of Finance, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, and that brings to my memory the suspended Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Dr. Beta, and the immediate past Minister of Humanitarian Affairs.
Yes.
They have been alleged with corruption cases, embezzlement of public funds. Don't you think that that entirely will paint a negative picture, allowing women to come into the political system? Okay, they're actually going to use our money to focus on buying gold and beautiful dresses, ornaments and all those stuff, shoes that they are going to finish our national treasury, buying makeup kits.
That was funny.
Don't you think that alone, from the immediate past director, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, and that of recently that of Dr. Beta, will pose a negative, we continue to pose a negative mindset in the heart of the electorate and Nigerians entirely.
Okay. Well,
I know corruption is not gender based. But
exactly.
don't you think? I know that is what they are going to say, that corruption is not gender based. But don't you think
But it's not.
the continuous painting of women? Okay, they feel that they've allowed into the system. Look at what they are doing. Look at what they are using our resources that are meant for the public. Look at what they are using it for. Don't you think it will actually pose a negative? It will pose a negative mindset. It will push Nigerians from, okay, a woman is coming in to be a president. Okay, imagine we gave two women the opportunity of being ministers. Look at what and what and what and what. And don't forget, past ministers. I'm not mention names again. They've also been alleged with issues of corruption and diversion of public funds. Don't you think this alone will also make Nigerians or any other person think giving the women gender an opportunity to be like the president or governor will also result in this? Imagine they are just ministers and this is happening. What if they were president? Don't you think that question will always come to the heart of everybody during the electoral process?
Election.
Well, like you said, I don't think corruption is gender based. Anybody can be corrupted, or anybody can practice corruption. Corruption already is like a canker that's eating brutally and deeply into Nigerian system, and it's not gender based. If you're looking at the number of women that have embezzled public funds, that have practiced corruption and all that, well, have you looked at the men? Because
Like the few that we've given opportunity to enter power,
it
that
can,
is
it
like
can't.
that's a maybe the kind of picture we are seeing. Don't you think it will pose a negative impression entirely,
No, it won't.
because the men are also doing
Yes, the
it?
men are also doing this. So if you're looking at equality, then if the men are also doing it, the women are also doing it. But it's not like I'm encouraging it, but I feel like it's fine. Like I feel like okay, it's not enough reason to say okay, women cannot come into power.
Yes.
No, I don't think it's enough reasons.
Dante,
Yeah.
what's your thoughts?
Yes. In fact, if you did not call me, but I would have asked you a question right now.
Okay.
Because the thing is that using one person's fault, okay,
As a drastic to
as a parameter to judge the other person is actually inhuman.
Yes.
Inhuman. Okay? Because I used to tell people, until you are in the same environment, you are given the same opportunity, okay, you've gone through the pains or the process of this same person, you don't have the power to judge them. All right, I understand now. I'm not encouraging anything, any vice or corruption, anything. I'm not encouraging, but what I'm saying is
But
that
don't you at the other side, don't you
No.
think it's also a
No.
way of setting up the women
no.
by the men?
Now, yes, that's what I want to say. That since the system is run by man, like the man as a like
Like men.
Men.
no
Like
no
me
no
and you.
yes, male and female. Since we are all men,
Okay.
okay, there are chances are high that anybody can be set up.
And maybe the thing, this office will actually overshine other ministries.
It is.
Let us
it
look
is-
for a way to bring down these people so
It
that
is very
these
possible.
women will not overshine us.
Yes, it is very possible. It is very possible. In fact,
Outshine rather.
that's the politics we are that's the politics we are talking about. Although that's a bad one. That's a bad one, because when you are trying to set someone up, a person is fit for an office, and then you are trying to make sure that you get the person out of the place by making sure you set the person up. You yourself, you are corrupted. You are a corrupt person. You understand?
Okay.
So I think you shouldn't use someone else's fault or errors to judge this other person, which you have not even given the person
An
responsibility or opportunity to display what he or she has.
Okay, viewers, we have just 6 minutes to go, and we are still waiting for your contribution. We are going to take your contributions and your question as it comes in. So don't fail to give your contribution or your questions. Dara Gold and okay, we have questions here. From Diplomatic Babe said this is educational. Sifon Achibong.
Go down.
Sifon Achibong said the level of female participation in Nigerian politics are low. Women should be given that opportunity. Okay. We have another question here. What advice will you give to young women with the intent to become politicians later in life. I think I also have a question like that for you. What is your advice will you give to young women with the intent of becoming politicians later?
Okay. My advice to them is to come out. Yes. They should come out. They should they already think they have that passion, then they know they have what it takes, so they should come out. Let them come and fill in those opportunities. Let them fill in those positions. So my advice to every woman or every young lady that is aspiring for any position is you can do it. And I believe you can do it. So you can come out. Try it. Then let's see what comes out of it. But for sure, you're going to come out and you can do like just the way the men are doing. So my advice to them is just come out. Just come out from where you are and then put yourself in it.
Okay, before I go back to Dante, how do you feel, or how did you feel when you actually came out, said no, I want to be the vice president of the student union, University of Ilorin? What actually pushed you? What actually drive you, inspired you to buy the nomination, stand election to be the vice president of the student union?
Okay. What actually pushed me was first I observed some inadequacies. I observed some things that are lacking and I wanted to bring a change. That's why if you notice my mantra was golden rebirth. I know that there's something on the ground, there's already something, but I wanted to bring a rebirth, rejuvenate whatever thing was lacking. So that's why I came out. And I looked at myself and I was like, fine, I'm capable of doing this. I have what it takes to do it. So why don't I use this platform to effect what I can do? So that's what pushed me. That's what inspired me. That's what drove the passion to get the nomination form, vie for the election, and which I won successfully. So that's it.
Please do well to accept my congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay, what is the impact of women political participation in economic development? What do you think is the impact of women participation in politics in economic development?
Okay, the impact of women's participation in economic development. Well, um, in a natural setting, I think every woman is capable of managing, like taking care of resources. You can give a woman 500 naira, and that woman will be able to manage that 500 naira for a week.
Wow,
It's possible.
interesting.
Please give me the woman's number.
You
Please,
have my number.
I need her number too.
But I'm just giving an example.
Okay, okay.
Yes, I'm giving an example. You can give a woman, okay, I think 500 naira is too small for this economy. So let's say
5K.
5K. A woman will be able to manage, a good woman will be able to manage it.
A good woman.
Wow.
A good woman.
So we have a bad woman and a good woman.
But
I think we'll set another day for that.
but I think most women will be able to manage it because naturally that is their responsibility. That's what they've been created to do. That's how they've been cautioned to be. So every woman is already able to manage whatever is given to her. Your husband can give you, let's go back to a family setting. Your husband can give the wife, let's say 6,000 naira. Like, okay, honey, please manage this for a week. A woman will always be calculative. She won't spend that money anyhow. If you notice, most women will never spend that money anyhow. She'll be very careful of her spendings. So imagine we bring in such impact or such women to the nation at large with such qualities. I feel like it will help the economic sector very well because a woman will know how to direct funds, know how to channel it, know how to monitor it and ensure that it is used wisely. So if women have that ability already. So if they should bring it to the public space, they'll be able to do it very well.
Dante.
Yeah, I think I have somewhat should I call it
Contribution.
well,
Thoughts.
not really contribution per se. I think so. I have some things against what she said.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'm not against you. Okay. But what I'm trying to say is that the ability for a woman to manage resources, I think it didn't just come naturally. Now I'm going to explain. The same way a woman is born is the same way a man is born. They are both babies. So both of them have been subjected to processes, trainings from different backgrounds. So it is the processes that they have been subjected to that makes them who they are. So for instance, if a woman had training from a good home, a good training in terms of managing resources, chances are very high that by the time she gets to that office or the place of leadership, she's also going to get the same thing there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So don't the men also get the same training? They are
So-
raised from the same.
So no, I'm very on a very serious note. If you are a man in this 21st century, and then let me say you are Gen Z, for instance. Okay, okay, my bad. You are Gen Z, for instance. Okay, if you do not give yourself proper training like personal development, nobody will do it for you. Now I have a family that's close to me. Okay, that the father focuses on the female child. The man is left to be wayward. Both of them are teenagers, but the mailman can go out and come back anytime.
I think we should set another day for this particular. We should bring it as a topic.
Have you seen? So
because I think this is actually this has actually posed a very serious problem in the
in the
country,
society,
in
I'm
the
telling you,
society,
I'm telling you, I'm telling you,
politically, academically, and
all round,
in all aspects of life, all
yes,
sectors of
all
life.
sectors.
So I think
So
we should set a date and discuss this again.
no problem, sir. So as I was saying, now let's say this boy that is wondering about ascends a place of office or leadership. Tell me, how is he going to behave or display his leadership position? So it all stems from our backgrounds and processes and experiences that we've had.
Okay, we have just 1 minute. To
Okay,
go.
okay.
Let's have a parting shot.
Oh, okay. Once again, my name is Ndanti Akpan, and I am a good citizen, a patriotic citizen of Nigeria, and my goal is to see Nigeria as a nation grow to a standard where other countries begin to envy us. That's my inspiration. I think I was discussing with you the other day
Yesterday.
that I just of recent, in fact, I was one of the most happiest persons on earth when I heard that the federal government has now given distributed the student loan.
Yes, that was yesterday.
Because since I'm not privileged, I was not privileged to go into the tertiary institution when I finished my secondary education. I had to submit myself to learning. Okay, had to. You understand? So it is passion, it is dedication, and it is purpose that has driven me into this path. You get? So I hope that you that's watching me out there, I want to give you an inspiration. I want to be a channel of inspiration to you. If there is anything around your life that it's seemingly impossible, it's an illusion, it's not real. Okay? Whatever you think that you can do to make Nigeria better, please, let's do it together. And we'll make,
of gender.
irrespective of gender, bro. Irrespective of gender. And we'll make this country a better place.
Okay, Dara.
Yes, sir.
Before we have your parting shot, how can we measure the success of women's political empowerment in Nigeria? How can we measure the success of women participation in Nigeria so far?
Okay. We can measure the women's participation
Judging from the student politics, or from unionism in the universities, colleges, and other institutions, and the secular politics, political sector at large.
Okay. If we say most, or I think we've discussed a lot on how capable women are, or the capacities women have. So now I feel like how we can measure it is first looking at these capacities. How much have they put in place? How much have they brought into these positions? We can now look at it and then see how, if they can do this, if they do what we believe they can do, then that means we can have a large avenue for them. Then also looking at the manifestos, most of them during the whole political process, look at the manifestos. You have people who say, okay, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. So we can also look at what did they say they can do, what did they say they will do, and then we try to measure it and then say, okay, fine, if these women have kept to their words, if they've actually done what they say they want to do, and they've done it very well. In fact, they've exceeded most of the things they say they can do. That means we can have more women come into politics, and then it will be an encouragement to have women in politics again.
Okay, so your advice to every woman out there that is feeling, if I should try this politics, I won't be given
Should I
a
go?
chance.
Should I not
Should
go?
I go? Should I not? Will I? You're the main one to take advantage of me being in the political sector. You know, stuff like that do happen. They'll say, "Come and do this, come and do that." So, what's your advice to all of them?
Okay, my advice to every woman or every young lady is that you should develop this courage in you. I feel like first the determination to do right starts from within.
Yes.
Before someone will tell you you can do this, you must already have looked at yourself that you can do this.
Yes.
No matter how much anybody will tell you can do this, if you've not convinced yourself that you can do that thing, then I'm not sure you might succeed in it. Because looking at, let me use myself as an example. When I came up for this position, there were lots of challenges, a lot of talks that they are good. Can you sure you can do this? Are you sure? Are you sure? What inspired me, and what fueled my passion was the fact that I already saw it in me that I can do it, and I became resolute. Like I already formed this. I built this fence around myself that come what may, I will be able to do this and I can do this. So that encouragement had to start from within. So my encouragement or my advice to young ladies is develop yourself. Develop yourself. Try to develop that courage within you. Try to develop that I can do spirit within you. If you have that spirit, if you have that mindset, no matter what will happen, no matter the stereotypes that will come, you always see yourself as being capable. You always see yourself as the best. And that will help you, and that will fuel your passion and to lead you to success. So that's it.
Okay, viewers, thank you for being part of today's Talk Beta. Thank you for being part of today's show on the Talk Beta segments on the Boom Blog Media TV. I want to appreciate all of you for your time, your data, and joining us. Thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for your contributions. We hope to see you again next Friday. Hopefully, next Friday. Thank you for being part of today's segment. My name still remains Anikwe Noitam, and my guests, Dara Gold, the Vice President elect of the Student Union University of Rio, and Dante Akpan. Thank you for joining us. See you again next Friday. Same page, Igbo Blog Media TV. And don't forget to share this video to your friends, share to your family, share to your fellow women. They need to learn. They need to we need to push fear aside and say, yes, as a woman, we can do this. As a woman, I can do this. Thank you for joining us. See you again next Friday. Bye.